This was always going to be the one speech that would trigger an immediate protest by many nations.
Please, order in the hall.
And so it proved. But the Israeli Prime Minister seemed to relish his isolation, beginning by referencing the Mossad operation in Lebanon.
You remember those beepers, the pagers? We paged Hezbollah, and believe me, they got the message.
And he brandished a map where he said Israel had changed the equation.
Yahya Sinwar in Gaza, gone. Hassan Nasrallah in Lebanon, gone.
He rebuked those countries who had recognized the state of Palestine this week.
Well, I have a message for these leaders. When the most savage terrorists on earth are effusively praising your decision, you didn't do something right. You did something wrong, horribly wrong. Your disgraceful decision will encourage terrorism against Jews and against innocent people everywhere. It will be a mark of shame on all of you.
And then he said Palestinians had a surprise in store.
I want to do something I've never done before.
For decades, the very idea of peace between...
He had ordered loudspeakers to be set up across Gaza, to blast his speech out across the besieged and desperate enclave, hoping too, he said, to reach the Israeli hostages.
And Christians don't fare much better.
Outside the UN building, this was the scene.
Stop storming Gaza now!
Thousands of activists marching on the streets to denounce Israel's actions. Netanyahu may have succeeded in amplifying his voice across Gaza, but here on the streets of New York, activists regard those words as mere propaganda. And widely they share the view of that UN investigating committee that Israel's military offensive constitutes a genocide. And in Gaza itself, fighting continues. As the IDF stormed homes suspected of hiding militants, humanitarian organizations are pulling out, saying the new Israeli operations make their life-saving work impossible. Palestinians are also on the move, trying to find shelter and safety, and will not understand Netanyahu's declaration to the UN that civilians are being protected. Yet in Washington today, despite that hardline speech from Netanyahu, Trump was expressing hope that a diplomatic breakthrough in Gaza is imminent.
I think it's a deal that will get the hostages back. It's going to be a deal that will end the war. It's going to be a deal with, it's going to be peace.
That optimism seems a world away from the language of the Israeli Prime Minister.
Israel must finish the job.
And a world away from the mood at the UN, where the nearly empty hall is the clearest testimony to Israel's near pariah status here.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And we can speak to Robert outside the UN tonight. And just to pick up on the point you were making there, Robert, Netanyahu talking about finishing the job in Gaza as Trump claims a deal is close. They can't both be right, can they?
They can't. And I just spoke to one of the most senior diplomats here at the UN just a few moments ago, and she said to me there's no possible explanation or justification for that optimism that Trump expressed on the South Lawn there. After all, we've had here a pretty belligerent speech from Benjamin Netanyahu in which he absolutely ruled out the possibility of a two-state solution. He also said that there would be an acceleration of Israeli action in Gaza City until the last remnants, as he put it, of Hamas were eliminated. And on the other side, we've had Hamas saying, look, they will never surrender their weapons while the occupation goes on. And they said resistance is a matter of national and moral responsibility. We may understand more when Netanyahu and Trump meet at the White House on Monday. The only relief really here for diplomats is that Netanyahu did not refer at all in his speech to the annexation of the West Bank, and in addition, of course, Trump has ruled that out. But if you look at the situation on the ground, Israel has cut off the only land crossing between the West Bank and Jordan, and therefore both Gaza and the West Bank this weekend are essentially besieged and surrounded, and therefore it's very difficult to have any sense of optimism after this frenzy of UN diplomacy this week.
Okay, Robert, thank you very much indeed for that. Thank you.